go for that. Yeah, actually, me and Horatio were talking. We think you shouldn't.
Do you think I should leave? Because I can leave.
That'd be terrible to be dumped from a podcast and then you still have to live below it.
Yeah, it's like
As it goes from strength to strength.
just hearing the raucous laughter from downstairs.
You like get the guests are just getting more high profile.
Yeah.
We're still mates though, man.
In our horrible house, just having like Jack Whitehall,
Whoa,
yeah.
that's a name.
Leonardo DiCaprio
Holy
comes
shit.
in,
That was inevitable.
and they're waiting downstairs in our disgusting kitchen.
I can like entertain them in the green room.
But I
I'm
don't
not
think.
even allowed to
I
do
think
that,
I'd,
am I? That's
I would be like, I'd take you aside, Drew, and I'd be like, all right, I know it's all good things, but can you stop talking to the talent because you're putting them off?
I think at that point
Yeah.
I'm so worn down. I'm like, yeah, fine, sure, I get it.
You're showing off your cheese in the fridge.
Yeah.
This is Gouda. It's like, and
Is that-
Leo's
This one's Edam.
Is that what you do?
that's what he does whenever I bring guests.
I haven't had an opportunity to probably welcome you to the house yet, but after the pod, I will show you my cheese collection.
Yeah, I was gonna say you didn't do that with me, but
No.
save it for the A-listers.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because one of the problems is with this studio setup is it's a faux studio, even though it's in my bedroom. So any studio, you could easily invite people over. But the house is not very welcoming.
No.
So it's hard. That's why it's very hard to vet people. That's why we so rarely have guests on. It's because it really takes a level of trust.
Takes a shine off.
Yeah.
It's like a real student house, isn't it?
Yeah.
But also like
Yeah.
structurally, those little corridors and the way it leads
Well,
through.
our landlord doesn't give a fuck.
No.
No.
The landlord the whole street is lovely, and this house is the only one that's falling apart.
Adam's wall leaks when it rains.
Really?
There's a hole in my
So it's
ceiling.
ratios, yeah.
Steve the handyman has gone up on a ladder with his mate Tony. Tony's 5'2", he's 6'2", so it's very funny. Seeing them both go up a ladder. He's fixed it 7 times. Every
Steve's
time.
6'2".
Yeah, about that. He's ginormous.
He's a massive
He's
man,
huge,
isn't he?
huge.
Yeah.
Get him on the podcast.
That would be incredible.
Well, like, he's much funnier than he is good at handyman. But he's been up there 7 times. Every time he's like, right, that's what you sorted. Every single time it's rained, without fail, exactly
Goes
the same.
through.
So he goes up there. I don't know what he does up there because it's no different. And every time he's like, all right, I'll be right over again. Does the exact same thing.
Difficult if they're a nice guy.
Yeah, I do like Steve.
It's hard to know because he doesn't say that much because most of his expulsion from his mouth is just heavy breathing.
Yeah. Well, he's
very
It feels
large.
quite intimate with you because he's like, after like a heavy night, he was coming around like a Sunday after a Saturday night
I was
out
lying naked in a bed with a woman.
with a lady.
Nice.
With a lady.
Nice.
A lady, no less.
With a fanny out.
And
Let's be honest.
she did have a cooter out. But I don't want to get too much into it. And then I just heard a very faint knock on the door, and then Steve just starts walking through carrying a ladder, keeps walking through out of the back door, which is where in my room, and then Tony appears holding the other end of the ladder.
It's just like, and it's the one with the height difference. It's
Yeah,
like,
they really are the Chuckle Brothers.
It's incredible.
Oh yeah, you should have him on, definitely.
That would be fantastic.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Boys Gone Wild. This is the special episode for sure because this is our long in the making. This is episode 95 and this is our third man guest. Started as a 1-man pod, became a 2-man pod, had guests on, but this is the first time Andrew and I have interviewed a guest. It's a strong vetting process because
Really
Andrew
strong.
doesn't play well with others famously.
I need to meet them at least once before.
Andrew's very cat-like. He's not a dog vibe when it comes to...
No.
He doesn't run up and he's very much like I'm better than you and needs to find out if he can...
They have to gain my trust.
Yeah. Well, if you noticed, I mean, I don't want to spoil. I've been like slow blinking. That works with cats. I've been doing that.
Oh,
to get my trust. Yeah,
Just trying to-
When I met
This
you,
is why
I
this
was
is
just going
working.
like this. I was going.
I wonder.
And then looking up, because if I was to do that,
Yeah.
I knew that you'd
You'd
run
scare
I
away.
did
him
wonder
away.
why I trusted you almost immediately.
Yeah.
I guess it's the eye contact.
And Andrew actually... There was many people who I'd have as the third guest. Paddy wasn't my first choice.
Okay.
But Andrew then said, I like this. He looked at the videos
I like Paddy.
and he's quite rude about a lot of my friends' content, actually.
Quite a few. I've got a lot of things to say. Not much
He
of them are
comes out,
positive.
he's never met any of them. But he's like, this guy you shared, not for me. Don't
good.
like this one.
Not good. I'm not
Then
in the
always
stand-up
likes
world,
Paddy's
but
stuff.
I'm a
you know.
critic.
Even some of your weaker stuff he's
Yeah,
a big
but
fan
what we've
of.
just
Yeah.
glossed over is you said you didn't want me on
No, I do.
So-
I want you on. There's just a long list of people I could have on.
before me.
Just remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Replaceable doesn't even cover it.
Yeah.
Like that, I could
Extensively.
bring someone on. But yes, we got Paddy, and it is funny that Andrew's choice is just a better looking version of himself. It is. There's something narcissistic about it.
There's some sort of aspiration there.
Really?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
100%, Paddy. Let's be real.
Well,
here.
I'll take it.
Let's talk
You boys have
about
got
this.
a very there's a status thing going on here, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like you're definitely keeping me in check straight off the bat. You're like very
I
wide.
am grabbing my penis.
Horatio's about to list off all the people that are better than me. You've got me in the middle. I know that what I do know about this podcast, it's all about the red chairs and the sunglasses, and you've given me slightly too cool ones.
Yeah.
So, but people won't know that they're not yours. They'll look like, oh, this new guy's turned up and he's trying to be cool.
He's trying to make an
That
effort.
isn't the vibe. Look at this
Yeah.
guy. He's got proper lumbar support.
Yeah.
Now, fair enough, I did bring the chair, but I want to be comfy.
It was funny seeing
Yeah.
you coming down the street.
It was 2 tubes, wasn't
Look
it?
pretty awkward, actually.
Feels good now.
You weren't even rolling it. It's got
No.
wheels on.
Put my back out on the way here, but now paying for itself.
Yes, no, we haven't had a third man since the old radio days, and the third men didn't last long because it is a relentless onslaught. So we'll see how it's very much like a Nanny McPhee situation.
Right? Yeah,
Wait, I
yeah.
don't get the
wait,
reference.
hold up. Sorry,
What the
I need to
fuck
work
do you
it out.
mean?
I need to work it out
Nanny
as well because I
McPhee.
think I might have misread.
Is it like the kids constantly go through different nannies?
Yes, that's it. That's
Okay.
it. Sorry,
Yeah.
Admittedly, Nanny
Where
McPhee.
the fuck did you pull that one from?
I pulled that out my arse.
Wait,
Nanny McPhee.
That was straight out my
Isn't that
arse.
the case with every nanny
Every
film?
nanny film.
It's always
Mary
they go through them
Poppins.
You
all.
mean in the genre?
Yeah, as a genre, it's always like that's the
Mrs.
final.
Doubtfire?
I can't remember what goes on with the family before he turns up.
No, because it's his kids, isn't it? And he pretends to be. I think he divorces and
You're
pretends
right.
to be
So
a
that
nanny.
was first nanny film I thought.
Well, Mary Poppins, I thought of, which is true.
Yeah.
They're working through nannies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Most, I think,
Super
there's
Nanny?
But it's the nanny.
Super
That's
Nanny.
not that's part of the genre though. That's a reality TV, isn't it?
No,
He
again,
always
you're
tries
right.
to be difficult.
No, I'm just
yeah.
saying. If we're talking about, I've never discussed the nanny films as a genre, and I'm open to, and it's good to talk about the
I'm
tropes.
very open to it. Yeah.
But I don't think there's that. It's not a huge genre. I don't think
It's a subgenre.
it's definitely.
What?
I'll send you my letterbox list of them.
What's
my
it a-
favourite
what's it a
nanny
subgenre
films.
of?
I guess it would be a subgenre of family films.
Sure.
Domestic films.
That's-
Domestic
Springs to mind.
films. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we met Paddy, he had to go through a hazing process to please Andrew of a night out with the boys.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy yourself?
I did. It's funny because I didn't realise until as we met
Yeah.
that we hadn't met before.
Yeah.
Because we made a video together, which you edited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all talked about it.
The Adam Curtis one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Shout
made
out all
them.
69 of you that turned up. Yeah, so I thought we'd met, and then when we turned
Yeah,
up, I was
yeah.
like, "Oh shit, I don't know you actually."
Yeah.
So it was nice.
It
I was very
was.
surprised how tall you are
Yeah,
That,
he's a tall
I
man.
could get. I
He
could
look-
get
he
that
reads as
because
short
I'm
man.
surprised how tall I am.
every day.
But I'm not joking. I honestly, I don't. I went home for a Kerwin family event. Kerwin's my second name.
There's a lot of them.
It's
They're
Irish
They-
Catholics.
No condoms, a lot of cum.
That's the family crest.
Yeah, went back for my nan's funeral. Anyway,
She would have wanted.
Coffee
No.
just floated through the church.
but they're all about 5'3". They're tiny. There's a hilarious picture of me and all of the cousins, and I'm a good head above the rest of them. So I think in my blood I'm a short man, but in my actual body I'm a tall man.
Yeah, I think so. You read. As,
I have short man
you
energy.
You have the confident insecurity of a short man. You've got like a Napoleon
Yeah.
complex for a tall guy.
You're the tallest man with small man syndrome.
Absolutely. I think I would suit a bald short man.
Sure.
Just like really confident, flirting with
Just a lot
every
of
girl,
shoulders.
doesn't matter what, one of
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
Yeah, I can see.
And
Offering
that.
also,
to do
also like,
people's
still standing on your toes when you go to stuff, even though you can clearly see, but you're like
Oh, crikey. Yeah.
You Irish?
half Irish, yeah.
Oh, there we
Irish.
go.
That's why you're
Yeah,
half
yeah,
Irish
I'm
as
half
well.
Irish, yeah.
There we go.
Mum or dad.
Which county? That's what you guys talk about. isn't it?
From the west, Connemara, near
What,
Galway.
County Donegal.
From the east.
Awesome,
Near
Donegal.
Cork. Near Cork.
Oh, near Cork.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think.
Why did you say
I'm pretty
Donegal?
bad
You
at
just sounds Irish, doesn't it?
Sounds like. Is that not
Yeah.
a place? That's a
Yeah,
place.
yeah, it is,
I've
yeah,
been
for sure.
there. Big
Where?
fan of the Irish people.
Where?
Donegal.
Donegal.
That's a place.
Yeah, that
isn't it?
rings a bell.
Yeah. What gen are you?
What, Jen?
Oh, hey, I never understand this. I still don't understand it now.
Oh, you mean...
How far back?
Oh, so my grandparents on my mum's side were Irish immigrants.
Oh.
So my mum was born in the UK.
Yeah.
But then we still got lots of family over there.
Yeah.
Although then more like second cousins and that.
Do you have bare cousins as well?
Got quite a lot. My mum's one of 5 and my dad's one of 4.
Okay.
So
Oh,
I've got a
crikey,
lot of
yeah.
first cousins. And then, but then like the second cousins I don't really know. There's like loads of them.
Yeah.
So like we'd even would go to a pub for the first time. And they'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, you know that man there? He's whoever.
Yeah, I don't have that in my life, but do you have that as well? When you
Oh, of
you
course.
Get
I don't know.
cut
I
up
don't
by
know my
like a
direct
cyclist,
cousins.
and it's like that's your dad.
You don't know you.
That
You don't know your
happened.
direct
What was
cousins.
it? What was the story?
Yeah,
again?
I'm the youngest of 18 cousins, just on my dad's side, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there was this. I broke my arm once because my friend, in inverted commas, pushed me off a trampoline.
Just sneeze.
It actually had netting round it, but we'd left the door open. So I went hurtling out of. This isn't the important part of the story. I then went to hospital. It took us ages. Me and my dad went. We got out at like 2 a.m. Plastered up. Dad had to go get some petrol. Then this guy drives in, blaring. It's 2 a.m. blaring punk rock music. He gets out. He's got a massive pink Mohican, and then Dad's out filling out his petrol, and I was kind of
He
terrified
looks like a
of this
Farmville
guy.
character.
Yeah, pretty much. Dad was filling up his petrol. I was looking at this guy kind of terrified. And then Dad just goes, Richard! And it was my cousin.
It was your cousin, of course. That's
Yeah,
the problem. But then also, there's a small catchment area for Kerwins.
Yes, we don't like to stray too far out of Hayward Heath, which is a
Right.
small town.
So
in-
mid Sussex is where.
Mid-Sussex.
So if I go down that way, there'll be a lot of tall blokes on their hind. on
Just
their
say,
tiptoes
just say
like
you
that.
know me though, pal. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, well,
that's
not tallbacks actually. He's the
No, they're
genetic
tiny.
freak.
No, they
They're
are all
tiny. They're
small,
all
yeah.
they're all
Yeah.
really small.
I don't know if it's a diet thing because my family
What
aren't
potatoes? You racist.
no,
Fucking hell, Horatio.
no, chips. I don't know what.
Fries.
Mash.
Potato waffles.
Crisps.
Potato.
Potato waffles. Yeah.
That all adds up. Do you want to hear a fun fact about my Irish nan? Right.
I'd love to.
Okay, it's more of a riddle. So I think this is let's
Very
see
Irish.
how your cogs are whirring. My nan was a twin. However, she was born in a different year to her twin.
Who am I?
So shall I do my first guess?
Yeah, it's probably going to be right.
New Year's Eve.
Heck yeah, you
First
see?
time. Yeah.
See,
maybe
I
it's not
told
as
you he was a guy to have on.
Yeah, maybe it's
Well,
not as complex as it
No,
sounds.
it's not.
No.
It just you can bamboozle.
pretty mad.
Because I often make it up. I say that she was born in a different decade.
Oh, you did tell me that.
But now I know some of my cousins watch this. I don't want to lie as
Yeah,
much.
you
Don't want to
spread
over-egg
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to
Yeah,
over-egg
yeah.
it. But yes, I think another link between you guys is, which we haven't actually discussed, is phobias. I've found out today
Yeah.
that Paddy has a huge fear of needles.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you been vaccinated?
God, yeah.
How
How was
it?
that?
Do you know what? It was actually all right. I've been learning some tricks, but when I do it, I have to tell them in advance.
Well, you're doing magic tricks during it.
Yeah, yeah. No.
Was this your card? Just put it in. For fuck's sake.
He's got a top hat on. Loads of bunnies are running around. Just
Works for me. Well, no, I have to tell them in advance, and they give. I lay down beforehand.
really.
They often ask.
God, that's
I
so
find a
funny.
good nurse asks. She says, "How are you with needles?" And then you reply, "How you are with needles."
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's funny. I always find it funny finding out people's phobias because I just wouldn't. You don't strike me as a nervy Nelly.
Do you know what? It's a very specific phobia.
A scared Susan.
And it comes
Sorry, that took me way too long. Sorry.
What?
it comes up rarely.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
needle thing. So until
Yeah.
coronavirus, it was like every 4 years or so. And
If
I'd
you
be
go
like,
traveling. or
Flu
something.
jab.
yeah, and so I'd always bring a friend, and I'd always faint.
Yeah.
And
Do you
then,
faint?
yeah, and then even like, do you ever? Have you ever
That's quite.
I don't think I would bring a friend if I would always faint.
no,
into
I
their
had,
arms.
no, I had to. And this is what I was going to tell you before.
Yeah.
My
Who's taking them home?
when
you know?
when my
Who's fainting?
when my mates came with me, he said that I did it. She injected me, and then I was fine, and then I just went, I'm gonna faint. And he said that I just went just deadly pale. I went like that.
So is it just from the fear of it?
Yeah.
Because it's not like you're
It's
doing
not
the
even
blood.
No, because have you had a flu camp?
Yes.
Is it like
our
fat
friend?
camp?
Huh?
Is it like fat camp?
No.
For people who always had the flu.
Yeah. Nothing else has worked. Let's get a bunch of other people with flu together until they work it all out.
No, our friend did flu camp, Matt.
Oh, did it?
Oh, you mean
Yeah,
it's not called fluke. Is it called flu camp?
Yeah.
It's like fucking there's another word for it.
I think you're looking for the word flu camp.
No, it's not a fluke.
It's called flu camp.
This
when
one
you
is-
get paid to
Yeah. It's a medical trial.
Medical
but,
trial, yeah,
but this one was
trials. Yeah,
specifically
medical
called
trials.
flu camp.
That's Matt. Yeah, our friend did that exact one.
Right.
Yeah.
So I went to do it because I was a student at the time, and it's like I can't remember how much it is, but
money.
it's like a couple of grand
Big
or
cash,
3 weeks.
big
Yeah.
cash.
Wonga.
And so I was like, that's great. And I remember the thing that sold it to me was they had photos of the room, and they had a TV, and then like little zip folder with
Nudie
DVDs.
mags.
No, just DVDs.
Oh, DVDs.
Just DVDs,
yeah,
and it had
nice.
like 50 DVDs. I was like, that's amazing. I'm gonna get paid to watch DVDs.
This is pre-Netflix.
Yeah. You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And
God, those DVD slaves. If you were a DVD sleeve salesman back in the noughties, you were laughing. Now, God.
Heck yeah.
Derelict.
it's a
those
rough
shots.
time now. Yeah, no. I say do something else, but you know.
You got to pursue your passions.
But yeah, that sold it to me, and then
Did
thing
you?
is-
So you did
the
it.
thing is,
Straight
I
up,
already
mate.
knew that I was going to be nervous.
Yeah.
So
Nelly.
I brought,
scared
again I
Susan.
brought my friend with me,
Yeah.
and there was like a waiting room.
To the flu camp.
Yeah.
Isn't
No,
it like
no,
a
no,
isn't it like
sorry.
2 weeks?
No, you
Because
have-
that's a committed friend.
Yeah. She's not getting paid.
She's always just there. Just.
No. You have to turn up, and they have to do like tests on you to see that you're healthy enough.
Yeah,
and blah
yeah.
blah blah.
You're not
like
a
blood
loser.
test. So I had to go up to do a blood test.
Yeah.
And there was like a waiting room for everyone, and then I had to go through to the next waiting room.
Yeah.
And then I was just watching a video. They showed a video to everyone in my waiting room saying like it was just a cartoon of an injection, and
Why did that make you
passed
faint?
out.
Oh, that's
Passed out. And my friend said she was in the other waiting room, and people started rushing around, and someone went, oh my god, someone has actually fallen out at the video, and she was like, that's going to be Pad, and it was me,
Why were they showing you a cartoon of?
just to be like, this is what's going to happen.
Oh
This,
yeah,
da-da-da.
okay. Like an
To
instruction.
stop people
or thing.
fainting.
Yeah, just to
just to make
reassure
it
everyone
clear.
of the process.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
even the reassurance
exactly.
was enough.
But then when I woke up and they had a blood pressure thing on my arm, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought they were injecting me while I was.
Or they were sucking your soul
asleep.
out or something. Fucking hell.
So I started panicking, and then they
Fainted again.
fainted
It was quite a quick 10 days, actually.
Yeah.
So I just...
because I wasn't there.
Conscious, really.
Oh man, it was terrible. And then they put me to bed and they gave me like a tea and biscuits.
Yeah.
And then I said, oh,
Were you all wrapped up with a warm cup of Coke?
no, it was terrible. And then I said, am I still going to be able to do this? They were like, no, we inject you every day for 3 weeks. I was like, oh, that sounds nasty. Yeah, let's not do that.
So you stopped.
So I couldn't do it.
So you didn't get the cash.
I got paid like £50 for doing the test.
£50
which
to
was nice
faint.
of them because we didn't do the test.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
were just doing that because that was pity money. They
Yeah.
really shouldn't have paid you anything.
No,
Yeah.
they shouldn't. It was like
Well, you can't not pay the guy that drives out to just faint. You've got to give him something for his
it was so
troubles.
bad. But you know, like it's even like I watched a documentary about heroin addicts, and I just woke up on my bedroom floor. I just passed out. I passed out at my desk. And how
I don't know anyone who's genuinely just faints all
how
the
about
time.
this? This is the worst one. This was last summer when two summers ago when I first moved to London. I was staying with my sister. Right, I've got 3 sisters. I was staying. My 2 little sisters at the time lived together. Right, and I was at hers, and I was staying in her bed because she was out, and I was watching Patrick Melrose. You heard of that?
Yeah, I have. Is
It's-
that with Benedict Cumberbatch?
Yeah. Benedict Cumberbatch
Yeah.
playing a heroin addict.
Yes.
And I was watching it, and I not only passed out, but I wet the bed.
Oh no.
I wet the bed.
That's
wet,
the double
wet,
whammy
wet my little sister's bed.
Should be the other way
So
round.
you've got it.
I
Have you
think,
got it on like
I
an
guess.
iPad? How you
It was
watching it?
on the laptop, and then I just remember being like, "Oh my god!"
Was
Like,
your sister
it's
in
like
the bed?
dysphoria. That's the feeling, like a feeling of like
Yeah.
the opposite of coming up. It's like you're losing control. It's a horrible
Like
feeling.
reverse Mandy, sort of.
Yeah, exactly.
I-
exactly.
I think I've only fainted once, and that was when I was pushed off a trampoline and my arm broke. So doesn't that work for some sort of synergy?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a nice way to round
But
off.
then that's legit.
I don't know.
That's
No,
legitimate though.
Very sweet story about which I think about a lot is that when you nearly fainted when you saw how tall the shark was.
Really?
Andrew hadn't been in
Wait,
a
no,
big
there's
city
more
long.
than that. There's more than that. Okay, I hadn't been living in London. Fine. Okay, I wasn't that used to tall buildings. Brighton is quite famously low sea.
Even though
like,
they've
there's
chosen
small
to put
buildings.
the Brighton wheel there in the least attractive from the air. There's the worst view to
The
see
Brighton
Brighton.
IP60 is all of the regular listeners will know is an abomination and joined sign
know
my
about
petition to
So
scrap
in Brighton, where we're from, there's a wheel there, like the London Eye,
Mm-hmm.
and Brighton has no...
It's not a wheel. It's a giant. It's like a cock ring going up and down.
No, but they had the wheel.
penis.
They had a wheel.
The
Before.
wheel?
The wheel. So that's awful.
The
But
i360.
6 years earlier,
Sponsored
I've
by
been
British
on it,
Airways.
they've got a wheel. I don't know if they've taken the wheel down since. They made like a London Eye type thing. So one view is the sea, and the other view is Brighton, which has nothing
But
of
that
any
all happens
note.
on the i360. It's not a wheel.
I think they've made 2 versions. Oh, maybe.
No, I don't. I think you've got your
Maybe
facts wrong.
Yeah, maybe.
The Ivory 60 is a very tall pole, and then there's like a circular thing where you all stand in, and then it goes up and
In
down.
Brighton?
In Brighton, a famously small city.
Yeah.
However, because I'm used to these kind of heights of buildings, occasionally I'll pop up to London to see some of my city friends, begrudgingly, of course. And I'd arrived at London Bridge. I was aware of the Shard. To be honest with you, I'd been up the Shard about 5 months before.
How'd you been up the Shard?
I'd been up the
crazy.
Who
Shard.
took you up the Shard?
My ex-girlfriend.
Oh, she took you up the Shard, did she?
Yep, yes. Haha, it sounds like
gal.
a euphemism. Then I got out of London Bridge tube station and saw some sort of glass building there.
It's not called the Shard Tube Station, admittedly.
I said London Bridge.
Yeah, I know, but...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I said, thanks.
Very defensive.
Watch yourself, pal.
Why is
Both
this
of you watch yourself. Because my tail's up. I then look at the bottom of this glass building and think, oh, that's an interesting glass building. And they continue to look up and it just didn't stop. And it just didn't stop. I was like, oh.
What, I nearly fainted?
Nearly fainted, yeah.
See, again, this is so... You didn't know how tall... You forget how tall you are. And buildings that you... Because fair enough, if you've never heard... Imagine you've never heard of the Shard.
Absolutely.
And you're from a simple little place and you don't know... And then you get
Simple
there.
little place, sure.
Not Brighton.
A couple of my friends and family are listening from back
I'm
home.
talking... They don't have Wi-Fi.
They don't know what you're saying.
A simple, stupid little place like Brighton.
Yeah, Thickiesville. Right? Imagine you're from Thickiesville and all your thick mates and you live in little... You don't even live in singles, you actually live in holes in the ground.
holes.
Yeah,
The hobbit holes.
underground. And then you get off at the
Ignorant people.
You get off at the
Ignorant.
you get off at the Shard Tube Station, which granted is a big clue. And then you see it and then you're surprised, but you'd been up it.
I'd been up it, yes.
And you're tall and you didn't know you're tall. So I think
Do you think I'm struggling with heights?
I think there's something
going on, isn't there?
There's a Freudian thing deep down that you have. There's unresolved things.
My
Yeah.
dad's scared of heights.
Is he?
Yeah.
But you're not scared of heights.
you just...
I'm not great with them, but I think I'm the
no,
No,
same.
his dad's scared of heights and he keeps forgetting that things are tall. So it's like you like...
And my parents
You're like
divorced.
protecting your dad.
I think it all links in.
That'll be it.
That'll be it.
mum
Andrew,
leaving for a man
Andrew
on
has a
stilts?
arachnophobia. What was that?
His mum left his dad for a man on stilts. But I don't think there's a connection.
That's a bit
I don't think
fun.
that's connected. I think that's got nothing to do with that, actually.
So, friend
Who
of the
can resist
pod,
the stilts guy?
my friend Hugo, who's a very funny Swedish man, who has a hilarious list of phobias, and it's just, and with a Swedish accent, it's always very funny. And he always needs the toilet, and he always needs to eat, even though he only eats 3 things, which is pieces of pasta and bread. And we climbed a volcano in Indonesia. I can't be asked to get into it, but we climbed a volcano, and he didn't want to seem uncool. So it was like we went at 3 a.m. when it was dark. Me, Matt, who we talked about earlier, who's at the clinical trial, and Hugo went up this thing, and he didn't want to like miss out. And it wasn't until we reached the top of the volcano that he told us he's a fear of heights. The sun rose. The whole point is you go out there for sunrise. You're on the top of a volcano. A sunrise. This is when it's the moment we've all been waiting for. As soon as the sun rises, he then saw he was on top of the volcano. He's 6'3" and very skinny. He wrapped around my. This is him around my legs.
He's 6'3" and he knows it.
So he's always surprised. He's always scared.
Yeah, he's
He was
all right.
around one of my legs on the rim of a volcano crater, just shivered, literally like a nervous koala on a
Because
tree
it was
branch.
dark, he hadn't quite computed.
But he just
Yeah.
he thought I think he said I'll cross that bridge when I come to it by
Do you
telling him.
think?
However.
Because he's an intelligent man.
He is.
So it surprises me that he doesn't realise a volcano is high.
I think he hadn't realised how scary it would be up there because you had we're on a rim of volcano, so one dam is the crater and the other thing is the side of the volcano, and we're still on like a small ledge.
God bless
He had
him.
to be taken down the other side. He had to be carried down.
Was he genuinely carried down?
No, he was escorted down. He's too big. Balinese
What,
people
because
are
he'd
very
done some
short,
horrible things up
very
on the volcano.
Jeez Louise.
But you have do you still have arachnophobia? I remember that was a big thing when we were.
I thought I didn't, but I had my first dream about a spider the other day. You know, I think that's when... Do you have dreams about needles?
No.
I have dreams about spiders.
So like...
I don't... It's often just... I dreamt weirdly when I was back in Brighton, I dreamt that I'd just woken up in my room here and that there was a massive spider on the door, and I just ran out the door, and then I woke up and was convinced that there was a spider on the door at my mum's house in Brighton.
Did
But
that
there
scare
wasn't.
you?
Of course. It was terrifying.
Even though it was far away. Oh no, sorry. Were you at your mum's house?
I was at my mum's
Oh,
house.
I thought you were here.
No, I was at my
called your
mum's
mum.
house.
Get out the
There's a
house.
spider in the room.
Get out the house.
There was one time when me and mum were watching TV and a fucking huge cunt just ran out from under the sofa. And honestly, I was watching it and I have to tell my mum and my sister to like get rid of the spiders for me. And I
That must feel
couldn't
good.
say anything. Oh, it feels really good. Melissa, there's another one. But my dad's one of those crazy bastards who just comes in and picks them up with his hand.
Yeah.
So although he's scared of heights, Pad, he's still got some manliness left in him.
Yeah,
So
okay. He's
Spiders.
brought me back.
So
Yeah.
have you seen many spiders since, or have you not been tested?
have I not been tested for spiders?
Yeah. So how is it? I remember it was a much bigger thing when we were like 13.
I think
14.
I think it's gone down quite a lot,
Yeah.
to be honest. Because I can get the cup. I can do the cup and paper action. I don't
Couldn't
like
do a
it.
hand though.
Hand you can jack the heck off. And I don't say those
you the
words
same?
lightly.
No, I'm nothing.
What are you?
Absolutely
Yeah,
nothing.
I
can do moths.
I get them, and I start doing tricks. with them.
Yeah.
I start,
Yeah.
body popping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horatio likes them too much.
Yeah.
Weird.
Sorry, someone say spider.
I've got this.
That'll charm him. I'm
Wait,
a
so
spider charmer.
So you pick them up with your hands?
Yeah, easy.
Do you?
Yeah,
You
and
don't
I-
seem like the kind of guy that would.
I'm genuinely. I don't have any.
You don't have to lie to us.
No,
here.
No,
genuinely.
no. Do you know what?
nothing.
I'm the same. I forget.
You
'cause
do, though.
I forget that people. I forget that people. That's because when my brother-in-law, I was moving some stuff into his shed not long ago, and he went before I turned up. He was like, "Oh, are you okay with spiders?" And I was like, "Oh, I couldn't care less." And I forget that people are that much scared of spiders they wouldn't
Yeah.
go into a building. What is it?
That might have.
that
was it
they
like-
own.
They own. But was there?
And he just won't go into it because there's a
were the
spider.
walls and roofs caked in spiders, or was there?
No, I didn't actually see them.
So it
in
was
there.
just the idea of a
No,
spider.
no, there would have been spiders in those
Yeah,
spiders'
yeah.
webs, but like I wouldn't even think about that.
Yeah.
You know.
I think if
Whereas
you,
you
yeah,
probably would,
I'd
wouldn't
ignore it. I'd ignore it. It will come up in my mind, but if you just ignore it and carry on doing whatever you were doing in your brother-in-law's shed, then I
Yeah.
think I'd focus on that task.
Yeah, you'd knuckle down. Did you hear about the Peppa Pig episode that was banned in Australia?
No.
Because like it's a British show,
Yeah.
and they did a whole show about how spiders. It's all right to be scared of them, but they're not actually dangerous. It's fine. And then it was, I think it was
Oh,
accidentally
yeah,
released
yeah.
once in Australia, and they
Yeah.
had to quickly ban it
Yeah,
because
Because kids are going
they'll
to play
kill
with
you.
tarantulas.
Because in Australia, be scared.
Well, there's this new spiders that are around the
New?
UK. They're new. Well, they might not be new.
Right.
But they are deadly.
You
I
said they
think
might
I
not be,
might be. This
you said
might
they
be.
might not be new, but you did just say they are new.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the problem is I don't have many facts on this. I just have
This is the podcast. We
Yeah.
mishear something and then we'll run on it.
yeah. Then we'll go for
Well,
a
let's see
while.
what this new spider's
Right,
got
everyone,
5G.
Let's all knuckle in.
Go on.
It might be because I'm getting my information from one of my Arachnophobia Reddit forums.
Sure.
That's where I get most of my information from. But there's one that will kill you. It's like this something kind of spider. If you get bitten by it, if you don't get appropriate treatment within a certain amount of time,
Well, British spider.
you go die. Spiders are invading the world more and more nowadays. So it's like having a phobia of sharks.
Yes.
You need to have this phobia because it's a smart thing to do.
Do you need to have a phobia of sharks?
Oh no, was that the wrong way around? Yeah, you do need to have
Do
a
you?
phobia of sharks. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're not going to be out at sea and you see a shark and it's going to be like one person's freaking out. It's like, I'm not.
Oh right, yeah.
I'm
yeah.
not-
Oh, it's chill. I'll just.
Yeah, but I'm not going to
jump in.
spend my free time worrying about it because I just don't encounter them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't spend my free time worrying about spiders.
You do. You are now.
As soon as it gets. like,
You spend your dreams, which is the ultimate downtime.
It's true.
Worrying about it.
It's
As soon
true.
as he's off work, he just goes, I can't come out. I'm worrying about spiders.
If I don't do my 2 hours tonight, I don't know.
What are you doing actually? Thinking about spiders? I mean, they're everywhere. No,
How-
it's got progressively better.
How are
basically.
you with roller coasters now?
Oh, I resent this.
Sorry.
Look, I've got a certain bad boy image on the podcast that I need to try and maintain. And me
It
not wanting-
softens the image.
Look, I go on Loggers
It
Leap when I'm at Thorpe
softens
Park.
the image.
I've been on Loggers Leap, okay? I went on Tidal
It
Wave
soft-
once, the big one.
Did you and Tom Doughty stay in the paddling pool when everyone else went?
Frankly, I don't think that's any of your business.
Wait, there seems to be some sort of like disagreement here.
There's no disagreement. I do not like roller coasters.
Yeah.
I'm upset at him for bringing it up.
Oh right, so it's a sore point.
It's a sore point.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it softens Andrew's image, you know? It's a sweetness about it. He can't stand spiders on roller coasters. There's a sweetness about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, me and Tom Doughty did spend. We went as a reward for like the end of school when we finished our A-levels. They said, we'll take you all to Thorpe Park. There was me
Everyone
and-
cheered,
me and-
not these guys.
Me and Tom Doughty, who now plays for Bath Rugby, a professional
him.
rugby player.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
So if you tell me men don't hang out in the paddling pool at Thorpe Park,
What was the issue then? You turned up once again like the Shard. You're like, I didn't know they were going to be that tall. I thought they were going to be like that.
right? No, because it was like we went for me and Tom already knew that both of us didn't like rides. It was kind of a compulsory school trip, to be honest, and you don't want to miss out. Like, the main reason we went was for the bus journey there and back, because you can't. That's key social time.
That's true.
It's bums on seats social.
That's where you decide the new hierarchy for the
exactly.
rest
For
of your
like
life.
the next year, you can't miss out on that.
Yeah.
So no, we went. I like water slides. Now I know that sounds lame, Paddy, but you're gonna have to hear me out on this one.
Doesn't at all.
But so I think I will go on, like, I've been on right, and this is a humble brag. I've been on the tallest water slide in Europe. No biggie.
Was it
No
Turkey?
smallie either though. It was in Turkey.
Arguably
Don't look
not in
it up
Europe.
because I don't know if that's a fact.
And arguably not in Europe. It depends what you're. Was it on the European side of Turkey or was it on the Asian side?
Oh, you're asking too many questions now.
Because it's a very small part of Turkey.
It was a
in
steep slide. Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
It actually started in Europe. It was that big that it.
So I'll,
It's the only way into Asia from Europe. It's crossing the Bosphorus.
That's how they're tackling immigration. It's how they're tackling immigration into the EU. They're like, you scared of heights? They're like, turn around.
there we go then.
I'd go there. I want to make a better life for
All these
myself and my family, but
politicians, we need to stop all these water slides from Syria.
they're like, how can we stop children coming in? Have to be this high to do the ride. Sorry, kids.
There it is. So look, I'll go on those till my heart's content. However, there's something different about. I feel like I'm in more control when I'm going down a water slide than when I'm in a roller coaster, and I know that doesn't necessarily make sense, but it does in my head.
No, that makes sense. It definitely makes sense. Because I'll tell you why. Because water is something you understand. Mechanics are scary. Do you know what I mean? Machine. So
It's
you're being
more the
pushed-
sensation.
Well, also water.
The
you've got to-
metal thing, you feel like that's you crushing limbs. That's something much more power than you. Water, you feel
think
like
this
you.
No, but also water, there's something underneath you. Whereas a lot of the new roller coasters, you're hanging, so you've just got the height.
Yeah.
Whereas the water, there is a
But
sort of.
I think I agree with these points. However,
Yeah.
I think it's that even though this isn't true, that I feel like whenever I'm on a water slide, I can go like that and stop myself. Even though that isn't the case.
You probably could on some, but then with the rest of the people coming down,
Absolutely.
that becomes an
But
absolute
what
nightmare.
what this weird.
Just you freaking out inside a flume.
Yeah.
when you got your hands and feet stuck together, just this huge traffic jam.
Half-
When you're outside in the car park bit, you know, when you go out and
There's an Always Sunny episode where that happens. Have either of you seen it?
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it, Sunny. I haven't seen that.
Weird,
episode.
yeah. But so that's oddly translated into I will go on roller coasters if there's water involved.
Okay.
So like I'll go, although Tidal Wave and Loggers Leap are the classic two kind of kids rides at Thorpe Park, so that goes into it as well. Didn't enjoy Tidal Wave that much. I was like, this is probably my limit.
Yeah.
But I come from a family that isn't really into roller coasters. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's a
I
cultural
didn't
thing.
grow up.
It's a cultural
although I've
thing.
been to
Is
Disneyland
it?
3 times.
It's a cultural thing. Like it's you either come from a roller coaster family or you don't.
Look, the country's split into two sides. The way I see it, you can't get the whole vote until we bridge that gap.
I tell you what, I'm not scared of I went on a hot air balloon. My sister terrified of it, and I was like, I'm fine.
But you and your sister are from the same culture.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, it's gonna be fine. I hated every second of it. It was genuinely terrifying. It looks like it'd be really nice. It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
A hot air balloon.
I believe
hot
it.
air balloon. It lifts you up. It's because you're in a basket. It's fucking.
It's the basket aspect.
Yeah, you're just
just
swinging
in a
it. I
basket.
couldn't believe it. I was like, the whole time I felt awful. I
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
relax
Because
for
it's
a second.
Because a basket, when you own a basket, you're like, we'll put the bed linen in there. You
Yeah.
don't put anything like.
You don't put yourself
50
in there.
Yeah.
tourists in there.
Yeah, you wouldn't put like
It's a big
important
balloon.
stuff in there.
Big balloon.
50?
Yeah, actually, no, 25
25, yeah.
half
25,
it,
25
half it.
what?
people.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
too many.
That is a lot for a hot air
It's a
balloon.
big hot air balloon.
25.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hot air balloons in Sussex.
Are there?
A disconcerting amount of hot
Yeah.
air balloons.
And a lot of windsurfers. Not windsurfers. Yeah,
No.
there's a huge amount of
Paragliders.
Paragliders, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
not on the water.
Yes, very much so. I don't think we've even introduced Paddy as how we even know, because for people listening, I don't know what.
Oh yeah, I'm just a guy that's.
It's just right now. It's just like
Yeah.
Hot Andrew. That's as much as they know
Hot
about
Andrew,
him.
yeah. Which is...
I don't want to be that who I am, by the way.
No, that's what you don't get to choose, man.
What's wrong with being hot Andrew? Hold on.
First of all, Andrew, you're hot enough.
No,
and
no,
you know
Pat.
that because you've got three.
What's wrong with
three
being
buttons
hot
undone.
me? What's wrong with being hot me? You're hot me.
No, I have...
I'm ugly me.
Yeah. You're clever me.
And you best remember that.
That's a
pal.
great bullying method. You're an attractive version of me.
You punk. Yeah, I often opt for many buttons undone. I've been compared to a 70s porn star previously, and I ain't gonna fucking turn my nose about it.
Well, depending how this episode's going, maybe we'll start calling Andrew Ugly Paddy.
I think that's a great thing to do.
Even if you delete this episode, never air it, and it's just you two from now on.
It's Horatio, my
But it's
co-host,
still-
Ugly Paddy.
Would raise a lot of questions.
Wait, let's nip this in the bud. You're not ugly, Andrew. And you
thank
know
you,
that.
Paddy.
Because
Come
we've
on.
already spoken about his insecurities. It feels bad piling on the other ones.
So right. I wouldn't have agreed to this podcast if it was just we're going to talk about spiders, roller coasters, and how ugly you are.
Admittedly, I thought it'd be more going on.
Yeah.
Paddy,
Yeah.
it seems to be coming over here quite a lot.
You were like, okay, Andrew,
He
tell you
just
what.
talks about fainting and wetting himself, but somehow.
Yeah,
he's
how
like-
have I?
You
Don't make
ended-
this about you. Unbelievable.
I went on
Actually,
longer
Horatio's
sleep.
the only one that's not been stuck. Do you not have any phobias?
I don't actually.
Oh,
Do I
you're
have-
full
what-
of
what do
wank,
What do
mate.
I have
You're
then? I
full
genuinely
of
don't
wank.
know. I want to have one because I want to join in.
You want to have one.
I'd love to.
I wish I had
Social
an irrational
situations.
fear. You see, that sums up Horatio's life. He sat at home like this. Wish I was scared of something. I wish something made me like scared and upset for no reason, but I can't. I've just got these nights, sleep for 8 hours, sleep like a dream.
You look like a kind of guy who'd have a phobia of cheese. Do you know what I mean? Do you know he looks
the
like
paleness?
that guy?
Or like baked beans or something.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, this is so funny. My mate Dan. Shout out Dan Tiernan. Do you know Dan Tiernan, the comedian? He's in.
There's a
he's
lot
ma-
of Tiernans in
Yeah,
comedy.
he's a Manc comedian, right? And he's really terrified of beans. And,
Oh no, look, my girlfriend's terrified of beans.
Really?
One of my friends is terrified of beans, who's
Oh,
also
what
your
the
friend.
fuck?
Milo's
Milo
terrified
Latham
of
is
beans.
terrified
Really?
of beans.
Well,
There's a lot of people who have a fear of
Well,
beans.
listen.
Beans are weird because cold beans are awful. Hot beans are some of the best things ever. It's
You're
like,
right.
Yeah.
You heat up beans and it
No, but-
transitions from one of the worst things to one of the best things. It's
But
quite
listen,
an amazing process.
listen to this, right? He was talking about how he's scared of him, and he said like he didn't know why, like he had no reason why. And I said, "Do you have any like memories of like beans?" He was like, "Oh yeah, when I was really little." Mate, this has made me laugh so much. He said, "Oh, I opened a cupboard, and an open can of beans fell on my little sister." And I thought it was blood all over her. And I went, it'll be that.
That's it. That's it.
And he, went,
That's
he
fully
he
it.
said,
Well,
he
he
said-
realised it
he
on the
s-
moment.
He said, do you reckon? I went, what do you mean, do I reckon?
That's
It's definitely
obviously
because
it.
then he'll every time he sees beans, or tries to eat beans, he'll think he's
Actually,
eating his sister's
shit.
blood.
Do you know, if you want to do some deep psychology or
Please,
cod psychology,
please.
do you, want-
Keep it-
do you-
keep
do you
it
want to know
Freudian,
why
yeah.
do you know what, well, do you
No,
want to know
you
why
don't
I
get this
think
fucking
I'm
house.
No
scared?
Lacan coming in here, okay?
I know what you like, Pad.
Know what you like. I've only
All-
met you once.
all right.
Oh, there's a Lacanian if
Do you
ever
want
I've
to know
seen
why
one.
I think I'm scared of needles?
Did loads of needles fall on your sister when you were
No.
younger?
That's good.
Thank you.
That
yeah,
would have been
that's-
good. No.
yeah.
When I was at primary school,
Probably worse. She
This
could have
is-
been seriously injured. Sorry.
this is going to be serious now. So I don't,
Yeah.
what I'm about to say, I don't want you boys to laugh at.
Well, probably
Okay.
will, 'cause this is a
Okay.
crazy house. This is a crazy pod.
So
We
don't laugh at this. But when I was at primary school,
I can't. No, it's fine. Yeah, I agree.
when I was at primary school, I used to wet the bed.
Hey, me too, man.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's good. It's
I-
not.
yeah.
With?
It made me miserable for years.
Hey, you got to
But
ride
listen,
it.
listen. Did you ever like see someone to like help you? Did you ever get like a nurse or anything?
Not a
No.
wet the bed nurse.
Yeah, I had to wet the bed nurse.
Did you? No,
And
I
I'd see her. I don't know how often I saw her. I saw her like maybe once a month. Basically, she'd give me like a rota of when to drink water and when to like go for wheeze in the day, just to like train you out of it.
Yeah, it's like toilet, not bed. Was that a lot of?
Yeah, and I was like, she kept crossing it out, like, no, that one. I was like, oh, is it? Oh. Yeah, oh yeah. I
It was
didn't.
multiple choice.
Yeah.
Where do you piss? And you keep crossing
Yeah.
the bed. Not the bed.
Not the bedpan, fuck's
Yeah,
sake.
yeah. Well, what I didn't tell you is it wasn't when I was asleep. I was awake. I'd be stood up like that. What's the problem, Mum? What's going on?
Well, I just actually, because I had one thing that I had like an alarm that would go off.
Yes, on the bed.
And it never worked, so I would just piss the bed and then be woken up by a horrible alarm and be like, well, I'm now pissed off, awake, and I'm wet.
No, that did work. That's the point. That worked.
No, because I'd already pissed.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't. How would the alarm know if you were about to piss?
Wait, what's the alarm for?
Well, okay, that's true.
what was
It wasn't
the plan
connected to
here?
my
It
urethra.
worked. What it would do, what that does is, because I had one as well, it trains
Yeah.
you to wake up when you're pissing. So then you just do it before. But just to go back to it before we talk about your mate.
Yeah, I pissed myself.
Because at the moment I've just told you that I've wet myself and there's no context with the needle thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's move topics actually. Let's just shift.
Yeah. So anyone seen Squid Game? No, let me just finish this. So I saw her for a while. Then when I hit secondary school, stop wetting the bed. Don't want to brag. But I
Big
did stop
time.
wetting
No,
the
that
bed.
is a big
My
brag
guy,
point.
my
You
guy.
know?
Yeah.
my G.
And then when we were in year 8,
get your
we got
badge.
the TB jab.
It's like a sew-on badge that you
Like the
like the
scouts.
scouts.
Yeah.
And a
And,
sash. I should put one badge. I don't piss the bed anymore.
Stop wearing it, Pad. people assume you never wet the bed.
People
this
didn't
this
know
time
as
then
well.
I've not wet the bed for 18 months. If you didn't wear it, they'd think you
It's
never
the
did.
first date. Obviously, I'm going to wear it.
But yeah, we had to get the TB jab, and we had to go
Yeah.
into the room in groups of 3, and one of the nurses in there giving the jab was my wet the bed nurse. And I remember being so terrified that she was going to like...
Tell all
She
your
was like,
friends.
piss. All right, piss boy. Oi, lads, come in here. We got a fucking pissy boy over here.
You won't believe this. But then she injected me, and it surprised me how much it hurt.
And then you faint as well.
But I didn't faint. I
And
didn't
then
faint.
pissed himself.
Yeah. Yeah, but I do think that's linked to it. Don't you think?
Because it was like a previous trauma. You're then confronted with
Exactly.
it, and then you kind of dissociated that into a new trauma.
Yeah.
Are you still pissing yourself?
No, so I only wet myself watching that thing. But it was like when I got the jab,
Fainting.
I was really worried. I was like, I bought another pair of trousers in my bag. I was like, I could piss myself. Which is horrible things I have to do.
How often do you do that? Wait,
Do
with the
what?
jab for the jab.
Yeah,
for the
You're
jab.
not bringing it to like gigs
Not on a
or stuff.
day-to-day basis. I think fainting is generally a different... It's definitely different from sleep. If you're going to piss yourself, I feel like anything can happen.
Yeah.
Just evacuate.
The only time I've fainted 3 times, and they've all been from yawns that are too big. That's the only times I've ever
That's
fainted.
fucking
What?
weird.
So
That's
I like
so
if-
much weirder than anything
Yeah,
we've
so
spoken
I'll be
about.
like, I'll wake up in the morning, I'll just go, "Ooh," and I'll wake up 5
Are
minutes
you just
later.
going back to sleep?
No, I'm standing up, and I'll just be like, "Ooh."
It's the lightheadedness, which I can moderately
Are you
understand.
being serious?
Genuinely. When I was, I used to I'd be yawning, and I'd have a huge rush of blood to the head, and then I'd hear, genuinely, get down.
What?
Genuinely.
Was that your dad?
No, genuinely, my body would be like, get down, and I'd be like, okay.
Wait, was it your voice saying get
Sort
down?
of, yeah, but I don't. There's
like
not really a
God.
voice in, I don't think it was God.
Do you think
actually.
in your own
Could
voice?
have been God.
Do you think in your own voice? Because some people don't think their own voice. And that
Yeah, no,
terrifies
do you
me.
think in your own voice?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah, no, I
the
think
best
in
way
my
to do it
voice.
is when you read someone else's messages that they've sent you, and if they've got a very particular way of speaking, it never sounds quite as good when I read it in my head because it's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that funny.
Yeah, or it's like when people speak 2 different languages and you ask them what do you think, and then they just can never answer it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I need to know.
You need to know.
What is it?
Well, just tell them to think, hello, my name is X. And then when then you've said it in that language. Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
There's too many problems with this.
dear.
Do you think in your own voice, Paddy?
I
Take a moment, have a think.
don't hear a voice when I'm thinking.
But when you read something out, like if
Reading? Do I read in my own voice? Yeah. Do I read aloud in my voice? God, yeah.
in your head,
Do I speak in my own voice? Yeah. Do I in my head? No, I don't know. I don't think so. I never thought about it. It's weird that for some reason it's irritating me thinking about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're here to push some buttons.
Yes. So what I was actually, we kept going off track, but
Oh, yeah.
I'd
I
like
feel-
to stay on this if you wouldn't mind.
Please don't.
I was trying to introduce Paddy is a stand-up and an actor. How long you been in London now? Because you're not a London guy.
I'm
You're
not, no.
You're a northerner.
Yeah.
From Scarborough.
From Scarborough,
Famous for its jazz festival
And it's
nice
fair.
beach.
Huh?
And it's Scarborough Fair.
Scarborough Fair.
That's
yeah,
a
yeah.
song.
Yeah.
It's a song.
Do you know it?
Yeah.
Cool. Because
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
remember it, but I'm not going to ask what it's like.
Yeah, I moved down here 2019
Yeah.
or 2018.
But
and
you're
then
not
moved
a
again.
London guy, and you've got the northern thing about you, about London. You've definitely got that certain. You carry that with you.
What, the northern thing?
There's the northern thing in London, and some people try and get rid of it, but you've owned it as
You mean
well.
having a northern
Complaining,
accent?
I mean,
Oh,
complaining.
complaining. Oh, about London.
Yeah.
I hate. But then when I'm always with London sort of people,
Yeah.
like yourself,
Not this guy.
Not
Shard-
this guy.
Well, like
fighting
you,
in the shard.
is that people
I'm a
from
seagull till I die.
London they've got a very different life in London.
Yeah.
Like they're much more comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whereas I've come from lived in
They're
Scarborough.
all polite to each other.
But even like then I lived in Manchester for 6 years. I've come down here, paying
Yeah.
much more rent. It's a much more difficult way of getting about. Also,
Pints.
when I moved here, I didn't have like a corner of like just where I hang out.
Yeah.
When I was like, some people, if they're from London, they've got a little base.
Yeah.
I just felt like I was just going everywhere all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So it is just a different look. And I'd never go, have roast dinner at my parents' house.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
know that one day I would inherit a nice house in London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead, it'll be
Well, I
a
think
quarter of
that
a house in Scarborough.
The
Yeah.
prices are tough because Adam is from Blackpool.
He's
area.
northern.
He's
You
northern.
guys would get on.
That's all it takes for me.
But he was looking at his mum's moving house or something, and I think she's going to rent a house so much nicer than ours, as many bedrooms, and the price is just ridiculous
Where is it?
compared to
Yeah.
here. Pardon?
Where is it?
In Blackpool.
Exactly.
Yeah, Blackpool is so cheap.
Yeah.
But sometimes I hear that, man. I completely get it. But the people are like, if this was in Bradford, you'd be able to get a 4-bed. I was like, yeah. It's in Bradford, though. Do you know, you are paying...
Yeah. 100%. But it could be... I think it's particularly tough if you've moved from a place where the prices
where
are
you
so
have
cheap.
room.
Then it's really a lot of resentment coming out when you're paying
And also
it.
you go through, I've already gone through being a student, living in student places, then living in all right places in Manchester. Then you come back to London and you're paying more for...
Oh,
Yeah.
so yeah, but Manchester,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rent's pretty decent. You told me some crazy stories about rent in Manchester.
Yeah, I'd lived in... it was holding me back, though. It was stopping me from achieving things.
Some crazy stories about rent in Manchester. Sign me up.
And when I say crazy story, I mean a slightly low number.
Yeah, I imagine it would be so. What?
Horatia's like, tell that story
Tell
again.
do it again.
Horatio, I've said it 6 times tonight. Yeah, but the crowd's only getting bigger, Pad.
The Londoners love to hear that shit.
Go on, tell it.
Adam makes an interesting point, being from the north. He dislikes the certain kind of northern person that constantly complains about gravy in the south.
Oh, yeah, I hate all that.
Because it seems like it's about generating an identity purely based through gravy. You know?
It's funny because I have met... The thing that we call it is, and I've never wanted to be one, is professional Yorkshireman.
Yeah.
And that's someone who's a
Professional.
Yorkshireman out of Yorkshire who just has to be that thing.
Assert his Yorkshireness.
Yeah, and
it's like wearing T-shirts in winter
Yeah, all
and being
that.
like, yeah, I'm not cold because I'm northern. I see
Yeah,
that
yeah.
a lot. Where it's like, you can just wear a jacket out. It's like, no, because I'm northern. It's like, you're freezing cold, mate.
Yeah.
It all comes down to the gravy, though. Do you know what I mean?
Does it?
Complaining about the thickness of the gravy
Yeah.
and the taste of the gravy.
It's also like, if you are actually a gravy snob, if you actually were a gravy snob, you make your own gravy. That's the best stuff.
You're
so
absolutely
you can
right,
make
Pad.
it. Like, even if you go to a good pub or somewhere, the gravy in a pub or the ready-made
yeah.
stuff is never as good.
BYOG.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
That's a northern thing.
it's like complaining like, down here, tell you what, they don't make beds very well. Well, make your own bed,
Make
you
your
lazy
own
cunt.
You dickhead.
I'll tell you what, the toothpaste app, well, just choose a different toothpaste. Make it.
We had some toothpaste in our bathroom. We kind
Famously.
of do different. Right, famously.
Is this going to be another good story?
It's
Good
going to
about
be
the toothpaste.
buckle
This
in,
is a
boys.
clip.
It's gonna
This
be
is a
pretty.
clip.
This is the clip.
Okay.
So get ready. So be good on
This
this.
is the viral one.
We had some toothpaste in our bathroom recently. We do different rounds on toothpaste.
Yeah.
So someone might buy it 1 week.
Sometimes lemony, sometimes
You go through
herby.
one a week.
Hey, we brush our teeth hard here.
To be honest, we heft through some shit. Like,
Right.
toilet paper goes in fucking 3
Kitchen
days.
roll. We
Now
like
that-
to clean things up.
Yeah, yeah. But the toothpaste.
The toothpaste.
Yeah.
It had myrrh in it. It was a herbal toothpaste, and it had myrrh.
Wait,
Wow.
did it brand itself with myrrh, or was it on the small print?
It was okay. It was.
Wasn't
It
like
was in the
mint and myrrh?
ingredients, but it went herbal toothpaste, and it had like 4 things that were in it.
Frankincense.
No, sadly not.
What
but
is myrrh?
That's a fantastic question, but it's all over my teeth.
So
Myrrh.
what? Yeah, what was they bringing to Jesus that's now on our teeth? What was the?
What is myrrh? Is the question.
Yeah, and it's we should.
How can
know
you
what
bring it to
myrrh is.
Jesus, but I can also brush my teeth in?
What's frankincense?
What's gold? Was it gold?
It's good.
Is it called?
Yeah.
Frankincense. I've always thought it's like an incense because it sounds like it.
Right.
It's like if like Gwyneth Paltrow did her vagina candle, it's like smell of Frank.
Goop. Yeah, calling it goop is
Frankincense.
disgusting.
Frank incense.
Frank.
Like
Or
a
is
guy
it like-
incense that smells of Frank.
Or is it parts of
Or
different...
it's like an incensed Frank.
No, no.
Frank, a
what's-
really
Scent.
angry Frank.
No, it's parts of
Incense.
different... It's parts of other incenses, like a Frankenstein's monster of incense.
These are
what I mean?
all 3 great suggestions.
Yeah.
And it
Who
could
knows?
be either one of them.
The thing is, we'll never know unless we Google it, and then we'll know it in 5
Yeah.
seconds.
But that
But other than that, we'll never know.
that ruins the fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We interrupt this, but
Did we interrupt this bookmark?
we
Fucking hell.
we interrupt this podcast.
Just quickly, this
Admittedly,
advert is coming to you an hour later.
Yeah,
than
it's
we've
coming
been
an hour later than it was
filming.
meant
Horatio
to.
is blind drunk.
I drank 2 beers and I haven't eaten any food, so I'm a bit drunker than I should be. But it technically is drink on the job because this is actually the only job we actually have to do. But Bookmark Boys, there's no better place to get your bookmarks than from the Bookmark Boys, who do bring the bookmark
They
noise
bring the
loudly.
bookmark noise.
Loudly. Can you keep it down up there? No, we can't. 'cause we're the
Bookmarks,
Bookmark Boys.
bookmarks,
Bookmarks.
bookmarks.
Keep it down. Shh. You honestly, if you keep going, you're gonna get you evicted. Genuinely, in this building, there's genuine tenancy agreements that you can't break, but they constantly do it.
Just have respect for your
Have
neighbours. No,
respect.
they don't, because
they
they can't
don't.
stop
They
bringing the
don't.
Bookmark
So
Boys.
don't buy from Bookmark Boys because they are terrible people. Just kidding. It's opposite day. Buy from Bookmark Boys. You got great high quality source. We've got David Mitchell, Mark Corrigan, 2008. Mark Corrigan, 2000. Okay. Frosties are just cornflakes for people who can't face reality. That is a good quote. Read one out. Go on.
I've got Louis Theroux. I've been told I have a very weird looking face, and then his little face would be popping out of the book.
So it's good.
Can I have that one?
It's fucking. You can have it.
Well, Paddy, you can also get bookmarks of your favourite Boys Gone Wild.
Yeah.
Now, this is Horatio said, I would only be in a porno if it was called Horatio Gould Calmly Destroys Dead Ass with Truth and Logic.
I like that
Yeah, do
sticking
you
out
get
of War
that?
and Peace.
Yeah.
They also do very good Instagram stories and Instagram content.
Yeah. You're a big fan of her
I'm a
recent
big fan.
one.
I dropped her a message. I was like, that's fucking fantastic.
Sexy and funny.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Also, Paddy's Instagram. Let's do some self-promo.
Oh yeah. My Instagram is @PaddyIsYoung, and same on.
There's
Twitter
many
and
funny
TikTok.
sketches, many funny... Do you do stand-up clips or not?
A few there, yeah, a few.
Stand-up
Not as
clips,
good, though.
sketches, good
Not as
stories.
good.
That's not quite good. I spent a lot of work on them over the years.
No,
No,
just kidding. He's
funny.
very good.
Yeah,
Follow
check
it
out-
one more time.
Most importantly, you
Yeah.
actually have a show to plug.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm doing a stand-up show with a guy called Adam Flood, who somehow is even funnier than me. It's called A Up It's Stand Up, and we're on at
2
Northdown,
King's
King's
Cross.
Cross, 3rd and 4th of November. Get your tickets. They're on
We'll
my
put the
bio.
ticket link in the
Put the
description
ticket link
below.
Willie.
Down there.
Bro.
Right, well, let's see what the boys are talking about now.
And then we looked.
Yeah, we look.
Speaking of gifts, I've heard you've had a birthday recently.
Oh yeah, well it was my birthday a few months ago, but I didn't tell you guys about.
I was going to say I met you last weekend, but I was pretty upset not to get the call up 3 months ago.
Yeah, sorry. I've been. Yeah, you were just before the cut-off point.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
know,
tax
understand.
years. You know what I
I
mean?
completely get it, mate. You don't have to explain to me.
Yeah, no, I got a so basically my mum right, okay, let me say this, right. I live quite central now.
Yeah.
I live near the Shard.
Zone 1,
famously
baby.
tall, yeah.
Yeah, difficult.
And-
How do you get in and out of the tube every day?
He's not. He's just passed out.
He's just not
Pissing himself.
And I can see the Shard clearly from my flat, but I've always wanted to be able to look into it clearer.
Yeah.
And so whenever my mum comes down, she's got like bird watching binoculars, and I always say I'll bring them down and I can have a look at my neighbours.
How high up is your flat?
It's only like 3rd floor.
Yeah.
But like you can, I think the thing I've always wanted to see, like I've always wanted to see into the Shard, like see like, obviously I'd like to see people shagging, of course. I would.
Obvious.
Well,
come on,
absolutely.
it's
But also
not.
like,
Absolutely.
Shagging in the Shard is an absolute. That's like bullseye. That's the hit the money.
that's
isn't
just
it?
like, that's like
Correct,
hack,
yes.
innit?
I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, shagging in Buckingham Palace is the only thing that beats that.
I once had sex in a Vietnamese war museum.
Did you?
Did you?
Feel bad about it.
Did you feel bad at the
Problem
time?
is, he's trying to tell a story, and you've just got that is a
No,
killer
that's-
story. and
Let's,
then-
let's get rid of this one. I tell you what,
that's called sledgehammering.
Yeah.
When someone
Yeah.
starts a story,
Yeah,
and you're
no,
like,
I
"Well, I had
apologise.
sex in the Vietnam War museum."
I
So
apologise.
anyway, let's go back to
No,
this
yeah.
fucking story.
Let's go some shit.
Sorry,
thing
back
you
to
had.
your nonsense now,
Yeah.
Pad.
No, go on. Tell us.
No,
about
wait,
this.
we'll go back to it.
No, that's crazy.
Well, unfortunately, there's not much to say.
Where was it? In
Vietnam.
shit.
Yeah, it was.
Andrew had a psychosexual relationship with the woman that, you know, it manifests itself in different ways where, you know, you weren't always very conscious of the things you were doing. You also had sex in the pathway of a path.
Not the pathway, but near it.
Very near it. When people were coming back at uni, people were coming back from a club, they have to walk through the park. Andrew,
Hey, not everyone who was at the club has to walk through the park.
but quite a sizable amount.
A fair amount.
And as Andrew tells the story, I wasn't there, that you guys were way too near the path.
Yeah, it was too close to the path.
Not in a bush.
Yeah, there were, as in like the street lamps were nearly like you could nearly see us, but not enough. A couple of people saw us.
God, you dog.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
something It's not something I'm proud of, but it's not something I'm ashamed of.
That's it.
If I'm completely
You
honest.
brought it up. Not even at a good time. You interrupted someone.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely
You're definitely
right.
not ashamed of it. I'll give you that.
It seems like I really want to broadcast.
When I
that.
say I'm not ashamed of it, I mean I'll shoehorn it into any conversation.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have to be
What about
relevant.
the War Museum? Was
Well,
that
the
in-
War Museum, it was just
With Matt. Matt was there.
Matt was there. Matt was not in the toilet where it happened. It was in the toilet.
Okay,
Like
was
at
it
the
in
end of it.
Vietnam, remember?
sure.
Yeah.
It was in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And it was. I remember we just got to the 19th century point of the museum, and that was
Is
what
there
we
any way you
thought.
can turn more to the camera? Is that? I don't know if that's
Yeah.
annoying for the listeners.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's all right.
They've
that better?
switched off,
Yeah.
surely.
I just feel.
Surely by
Oh
now.
yeah. My usual
After they've
bullshit.
seen Piss Boy, they're like, I'll wait for the
Yeah.
next episode.
Another beta. Yeah.
Oh, is Ugly Paddy talking?
They're like, turn back around, Andrew. That's like you were right. They're like, looking at your back half, and I went so bad. Jesus Christ! Turn.
It's like we got hot Andrew is taken up.
Well, that's
He's
the
the only one
problem.
who's got the full thing. I'm profile hot.
Because that's the problem. I've done all right for myself with the podcast now, but now Paddy's come on. I can never show my face on her
And
again.
you've also always got sunglasses on. People don't know this about Andrew. His eyes are black as night. They're
They're
all
black as night. It's horrible.
Are
I've got a consistent rash. No, they're actually very droopy. That's a very Kerwin thing.
Kerwin thing. It's going to
Kerwin's
droop more. It's going to be like an old lady's breasts. I'm sorry to get crude. I'm sorry to get crude.
I didn't like that.
I don't like them crude.
Right.
But he's going to be dragging. He's going to be dragging them on the floor. He's going to be stuffing them in his pockets.
What, his eyes?
No, this part.
Oh,
This
that.
bit.
Is that?
Oh.
No, it's not that. So you see how they droop down.
Once
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
these guys can't see this.
No.
They droop down quite
Yeah,
a lot.
there we go. Anyway, so
That's the
you're,
end of the story.
You're shagging in the Vietnam
We got to
War.
about. We were going through. We made our way through the 16th century. Everything was going all right. We
the
weren't.
16th century.
Yeah, from like Vietnamese history.
Okay.
And then it kind of got to the 19th century, and that was the one at the end. You had to go like across different rooms, as you often do in a
Oh
museum.
yeah.
And then
What are you going to do?
We got to the 19th
That's
century.
boring.
Things started to get pretty erotic in the 19th century.
Where's Matt at this point, by the way?
Matt's standing with us.
So while the sexual,
I just said to
the
him, go
sexual
and look at that
tensions-
pot. And he went, oh, yeah.
He
that
saw a
looks
photo of a
He's
helicopter
simple
and
man. He's a
fainted.
simple man.
He went, that looks high up.
You went. I remember you went to Vietnam. It was you, your girlfriend at the time, and our friend Matt.
Our friend Matt, yeah.
So
Oh,
when
it was your
the sexual
girlfriend. I thought it
tensions,
was someone
because I
there.
have been.
No, not like a worker in the Viet. That would be great, yeah.
That's
That's
what I thought.
something I would want to bring up in any situation.
Because I've been at many things where the sexual tensions overrided you, and you've left situations to deal with it, and that's fair enough. I've known you long, but
What?
with you
I'm not
three-
a freak. This isn't
You're,
coming
you're,
off.
you're not a freak though.
I'm not.
you're like
yeah.
you're a sex pest.
You're
Oh.
quite horny, aren't you?
Yes, he's got a big sex drive.
Yeah.
It's a big driver of his personality. He's got a fully charged libido.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare, to be honest, Pat.
But we talk about it like a mental illness, not like
Yeah,
a,
yeah.
no, it's not like
I have
it's
a
not like
very
a laddie
addictive-
pod. This
No,
is
no,
like
no.
a mental health pod.
I'm here for
Guys-
redemption.
Tell you what, can we just start another conversation about how much cum I've got? Why are we not talking about this?
So what? So the sexual tensions building between you and this girl. Is Matt just? What's he? Is he just completely clueless?
Matt's looking at paintings. That's exactly what he's doing, and God bless him for doing it.
It's amazing that Matt's got into the two of these stories halfway up a volcano and
Yeah,
in the Vietnamese
yeah.
war museum.
And that's the end of the story, really. It was just an amusing place.
Yeah, he
But
didn't do it. He did it in the toilets. Let's be real.
I didn't do it like in front of the planes that bombed them.
Yeah.
That would be a step.
That's
When
a
you
step
say
too
the,
far.
I
that's
have
the image.
some respect.
That's what I imagine.
Yeah. No, it was an interesting one.
That's
It wasn't
rotten.
like it wasn't the big war museum in
Oh yeah, that'd be.
Oh yeah.
In
do
Ho
it-
Chi Minh.
Do it in the small one.
do it in the small one.
They're like, we don't care about this one.
Exactly.
This one's for shagging the. That's the shagging museum.
Not here, over there. Yeah. Back to your shard spying.
Oh, I mean, how is it going to be better
No,
than
go on,
that?
It's
go on.
not. There's.
No,
that isn't even that good.
Basically, I do like spying on people, but what
I
I
love how
didn't
you just judged him.
well, what I didn't realize is I didn't realize how much I'd been talking about it because I really enjoyed like.
You're a voyeur.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a voyeur, and I sort of didn't realize. I didn't realize that I'd like made that so apparent. So basically, my girlfriend at the time was like, "I'm going to get him some binoculars so he can do it," right? Which is very
Is this
nice of her.
specifically into the shard, or is this
Yeah,
just
and like,
at
also,
anyone?
I live near like nice luxury flats, and I want to see in them,
Yeah.
and I do now. But basically, she was going to get me
And
the
I do
scope,
now.
right? And then she found out that all my closest friends had a WhatsApp group where they were also planning to buy me some binoculars.
So
and then,
more than one people.
And then one of my friends was added to the group who works with my dad, who found out that my dad was about to buy me some binoculars.
Were you about to get?
3 different people were
Yeah.
buying you binoculars.
Not 3 different people. Like one of the groups was like, I don't know how many people, like 8,
And
10
they'd all
people.
work. They'd all put all their ideas.
And all
in.
separately, they were like
Binoculars.
binoculars.
That is
So then
astonishing.
my girlfriend at the time and my friends clubbed together to get me a scope, which I now have.
So what is a scope?
It's like instead of binoculars, it's just one.
Like a telescope.
Yeah, but it's a bit smaller and it's a bit curved.
Like a pirate
It's not.
thing.
You're not going for the moon.
Like a
You're
pirate
going
thing.
for the sex
What's a
maniacs.
pirate thing called?
That's a telescope. It's a telescope.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. You're right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very good. You can see.
Have you seen anything interesting?
You sent me some pics, man.
Yeah, you could
How?
sort of take a
Do you
photo.
hold it through the scope?
So what I found out is it's not illegal to look.
And you've checked into this a lot. Yeah.
Well, you got to before
I
you
like
start.
how you're
looking-
like also a rule keeper. You're a voyeur, but you do need to make sure it's all above
well, the
board.
thing is, apparently, you're not really meant to film through them. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But
but you're allowed to look.
But I have. no, nothing creepy. And it is, but it is. It's just for. It was funny because when they got me the gift, it was at my birthday party.
Yeah.
And I opened it up, and it was really weird, like because I felt very understood by everyone, but at the same time,
Very
like
seen.
completely exposed.
Yeah,
Because that's quite a pride. Because when I watch, I'm quite like. It's quite
Yeah.
good. Because part of it is like I can see and they can't see me.
Do you hide behind anything, or is it just a
So I
straight
did get-
standing by the window?
I did get told off because we've got a balcony, and I was like on it like that.
Told off by who?
My girlfriend at the time. She was like,
Okay,
she was like,
it's not someone.
she was
it's
like,
not someone from the flats.
no. She was like, you've got to come inside.
Yeah.
But it did feel a bit like, you know, like, have you ever read these like local news stories about like there'll be like an autistic child that's obsessed with train sets,
Who wets
with
the
trains,
bed
and
and is
then
scared of
and then yeah,
that one. Yeah.
that sort of thing. And then the whole town gets him a train set, and it's like a big deal. That's how I felt. I felt like I had like a specialist need.
Yeah.
But everyone was like, come on,
Yeah.
it's all right. We know who you are.
It's very
That's how it felt.
patronising. Have you
Yeah.
seen anything of worth?
Yeah. Because this is like the start of a film where you accidentally witness a murder.
Yeah, and do nothing about it at the end.
Yeah.
So
It's a work in progress.
honestly, you just see stuff up closer.
Yeah.
But like, it's funny because I brought it to Edinburgh, and I was just hiding it on the street, and I was looking at stuff on the street, and my
But
mate.
he's not popular amongst comedians.
I
by the
can't
way.
imagine so.
No, but my mate.
Do you have it with you now?
No, but I often bring it with me.
Well, actually, when I saw you walking down the street when you were arriving here, and you were taking a picture
Yeah.
of Horatio's room. I think
Yeah,
you might
yeah.
have zoomed in, maybe on the
No,
side.
no, no,
actually.
Yeah, voyeur.
Have you seen Voyeur on? It's a Netflix documentary.
No.
It's about a voyeur. Yeah.
About
Really?
you.
If
Yeah.
you put it on the TV across the road, I'll watch it through here. If it's close up, couldn't care less.
So you haven't seen anything of worth?
No, nothing. The thing I really want to see is I really want to see like a business murder. You know, like
Yes.
a business deal gone wrong.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
someone,
yeah,
like
yeah.
one person with a suitcase.
Yeah.
I want to. That's what. And then someone shot up against the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really, really.
So
looking-
paint me to me your dream scenario. You're looking through, you're seeing
Okay.
whatever flaw in the shard.
So
Yeah.
the dream is, I'm looking up, see the shard. First of all,
Be careful.
Huh?
Be
yeah,
careful.
I don't look. I don't look all the way to the top.
Good.
There might be
You're a
spiders.
you're a
Imagine if
trained
the top was
professional.
spiders. then I'd pass out twice and piss myself.
And piss yourself, yeah.
Well, obviously, so the first thing I'd see is, I'd see like two people in suits,
Yeah.
like handing something over,
Yeah.
and then like some sort of like clear disagreement,
Yes.
and then like someone getting shot, and then they're against the glass, and then like maybe like a sexy woman like taking the suitcase or something.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So was
yeah.
it like an assassination or was it a
Or you
spur of
could
the
have
moment?
it. One of them has a the briefcase is handcuffed to his hand.
I'd love that.
He gets killed. They have to saw
I'd
it
love
off.
that. I'd love that.
That's some real shit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
But do you
like-
get enough of a buzz from the mundane events that you see?
Yeah.
Or is it all in anticipation?
Shall I
of
tell you?
maybe
Shall I
seeing
tell you
that?
what? This is why I've started to understand serial killers. You know, they, you know, when they talk about how they start by like, you know, following women, or they dress in women's clothing, or they kill animals, and it's just not enough.
Yeah.
So my
yeah,
zoom
yeah,
is it's
of
good,
course.
but it's like I think it's like 25 times zoom. But
Right.
now that I've got that,
You in the
I've-
market for like a 50 or a
so you can get they go up to 100. But they're very that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because what I've
100
noticed,
times.
because I've taken it to the park, which again is quite creepy. But
Yeah.
if you're
You solo with this?
Wait, no, hold on. What are you doing in the park with it, pal? That is not acceptable. Pad, let's have a chat about that. You can do it from your own home. Sure, I don't want to go to the park and look up and just see 100 meters away, just faintly, a man just with one. Because it's weird enough. Is it genuinely one eye?
Yeah, but you know what's good about it? It doesn't look like it looks like it doesn't.
How big is it?
It's like that big.
Oh, it's tiny.
So it also kind of looks like I'm just like looking at something close up.
But in fact,
You're not.
well, they are. You're just looking at me close up.
I'm looking at something far. I'm looking at someone's lower back dimples from afar.
Just recommending creams for ages away from the park.
Well, my mate, I was going to say to you before, my mate Ben, he's a comedian. He won't mind me saying this, but he's going bald. And he said, the thing is, Pad, I don't have the hairline to have one of those. He said, if you do that in the street, you look like some like
Yeah.
photography
True,
student.
man.
Whereas he's like, I will just look like a nonce.
You've got the fucking what's his name? The who's the hot serial killer? Fuck.
Ted Bundy.
Ted, but you got
Bundy.
the Ted Bundy vibe, man.
That's
You get away with it.
Massive compliment. Big fan.
That is a big
But then, do you know what I did think is that I'm it's
Not me.
it's
I don't have that.
No, I was
Ted
going to say,
Bundy.
regardless of hairline, this guy couldn't do it.
Yeah. It's
no,
true.
yeah, you absolutely couldn't. But I'm
Don't
worried
have
now
it.
that
I'd be frowned upon.
Yeah.
But I'm like a step down from you.
yeah,
as we've
you
established,
couldn't,
yeah.
you couldn't do it either.
Yeah, because of my horrific ugliness compared
No.
to you. Yes, Paddy. Let's
And you're too
continue.
tall, and you're outwardly horny.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
suspicion.
But I do worry that it's a bad habit to have now while I'm sort of young and I've got friends.
I think it's a bad
and
habit, full stop. Yeah.
No, but what I mean is right now it's like all right because it's like
Yeah, you don't look like a voyeur.
But I don't want to carry it on. So
You have to be married if you're above 30 to be able to indulge in these hobbies.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I know now if I was suddenly to hit it rich, I would get a very good one. and they're very good. You can see ridiculous detail and legal as well.
What would you do with the Gasquillion dollars? Is what we were talking about earlier as well.
Oh, so first of all, I would get a good flat with a good view. A good 360
but I
view
guess
central
you're
London with a very good.
because I guess a good view for you isn't naturalistic scenery, a lovely park or trees.
It's windows.
other people's apartments.
Somewhere where there's a lot of business murders, I guess.
Yeah, it needs to be offices.
I'm thinking Canary Wharf.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Gotham.
Well, so does it ever go into looking into other people's flats?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
What do you think? No, steer away from the flats, Pad. Yeah, no, of course. But actually, I have to say that, like I say, it's become a bit mundane now.
Yeah.
What I do like to do is I look at I like to bring it with me when I go places. So
Because I think although as a peeper, if you don't mind me calling you a peeper.
I'm not.
What term would you prefer?
Voyeur.
A voyeur. Yeah,
It's like an artiste.
It's French, yeah. As a voyeur, I think you're in your money's in the game for the big payout, the business murder, as we're all aware of. But I think I'd get equal pleasure of just watching someone walk into a room and forget why they came in there.
Yeah,
Forget what they came in there for.
Or just like minor, like
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And just walk out. I'd get a lot of joy from that, almost as much joy as I get from.
Imagine
the
someone
murder.
stepping on a plug. That'd be great.
No,
Yeah.
Oh.
I think that'd be too much.
Horatio, do you know what Horatio would do? He would get the phone numbers of the flats and call them. And he'd see them confused.
Be careful of the plug.
Yeah, it stops being fun very quick. Then that's not a long term.
That's the thing. That's the voyeur's.
You've got to keep moving.
You can't break the voyeur's contract. Which is you don't. It's like Attenborough, isn't it? You can watch the bear kill the thing, but you can't interfere with nature.
What would it take for you to get in contact with the person that you're looking at?
God, that's a good question, isn't it? Imagine if I noticed that they had like a mole on their knee. I was like, oh, that doesn't look
That
good.
looks dodgy.
Yeah.
Or you were as a mother and daughter, and you saw a mother switching out their medicine pills for something else. Would you call in that instance?
Oh, that's an interesting one. There's a lot of.
Okay, so first of all, Andrew, how fucking involved do I have to be in this flat to go? Mum's using the wrong pills. Mum,
Don't start your diabetes pills,
it's
Linda.
It's Tuesday at 6 p.m, Mum. You shouldn't be having those. Then I've got to go.
No. All it takes is one. You just see someone and they're looking sneakily
How
around.
can I
Look
see?
sneaky,
Sorry,
they
I
look
think you.
sneaky.
How do I see?
They look sneaky.
They're all right.
They look sneaky
Pills
as
are
hell.
here,
Yeah.
They look
and
sneaky as hell.
they're there, and you see two people in the house, and you see one person go up to it, look around. They're in another. The other person's in another room, and they go tip all the pills out, and then get out a plastic bag or something and
That
pour
says
them
wrong
all in.
pills.
That says
Well-
death pills.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what I'm hoping.
With a big skull.
Wrong pills.
Like a cartoon. Wrong pills.
Wrong pills.
You got to watch out for them. It's amazing they
At
get
that
away
point,
with
I
it.
think they were staging a play for me.
Well,
They're wrong pills.
the thing with that example you've just given is, we're now veering towards business murders.
Yeah.
But it's there's no business involved. It's a family.
Just murders. Why?
Oh,
You're so obsessed with business murders.
That's nothing to do with business.
The point
Yeah,
about
but-
that, Andrew, is we're getting awfully close to business murders here.
So.
oh, what? Sorry, guys. Sorry, maybe I didn't make this clear. If my top thing is watching someone in business getting murdered, I'm not going to see a domestic murder and be like, no, I don't want to see this.
No, but
I'll
my
still see
question
a bit-
was,
Oh, so you're saying you want to let it happen because it will hit you. It's the kind of shit you've been waiting to see.
Beggars can't be choosers. I've not seen a single murder yet, so I'm not going to be like, oh, that's the wrong one. I hope mum and daughter have got a family run. Is this a family run business? Do you guys own a corner shop? 'Cause if you do, I'm going to watch it. If you don't, then I can't allow this to happen.
Right, but would you not? Okay, would you not feel compelled to get involved?
If it wasn't a mother and daughter business. If I found out that they weren't in a mother and daughter business.
Does your answer change if they're running a family business?
Yeah. Family business, see it out.
See it out.
See what happens.
But if they both have different vocations.
Let's call the police.
Let's
So there's a non-business life at stake.
So if they're both like freelancers.
Look,
let's call the police.
business life.
it's like, all is fair in love and war. You know what I mean? Business is business. but bringing it to the family home, officer.
There's It's a non-business life.
Hello, officer. Yeah, hi. I'm a nonce, but never mind that.
Don't ask me how I know either.
Don't ask me about what happened in the
That's a
shower
great
before
way
that
to
ago.
start the phone call to the police.
There's a non-business life at stake.
Oh,
You've answered all my questions perfectly.
Do you drive?
I do drive. I
You
sold
have
my
to
car
drive.
when I moved to London.
Have you driven recently?
No, not for a little while.
Well, I've been seeing with drivers, which is only there's been a lot of news events that I have no connection with.
Yeah.
Firstly, the fuel crisis, where it's like it seemed like it was like a made up thing because I had absolutely didn't even see the queues. And then there was the Insulate Britain thing,
Right. Yeah.
which is like on the motorways around the country. There's no, unlike Extinction Rebellion, where it's sometimes teetered. Like everyone hates these guys. Like, I haven't even seen support for these guys. By the way, I've only seen people. I've seen Rob Beckett slagging them off. I've seen like it's mainstream that these guys suck.
Yeah.
But there's
It's also a
something-
niche part of the climate change
so,
debate.
It's so funny because they're kind of doing some of the most disruptive, probably
Yeah.
more disruptive than Extinction Rebellion.
Absolutely.
It's much more disruptive.
It's been like
Are they?
2 weeks of just blocking different
Extinction
roads.
Rebellion
They blocked
stopped-
like the entire M5 or something.
And it's like the videos of them being dragged off. It's like Extinction Rebellion have been trying to like vaguely stop climate change. Insulate Britain, their motto is they're just trying to insulate all the houses for a climate change reason. But this is a huge
it
development.
seems disproportionate.
Yeah, it's a huge development in protesting where throughout my whole life, I've never seen a protest that is so specific and small. And I guess I kind of respect it where it's like, pick your battles. And as opposed to being like, let's save the planet, it's let's insulate
because that
low-income households.
would never be front page news. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's...
Like
yeah,
we talk
that's-
about climate change all the time, but it would never be front page news that our homes aren't insulated.
Yeah, but there's
then-
something so funny to
specificity
me
of it.
about there was the monk during the Vietnam War who set himself on fire as like a protest against.
You were having
Ameri-
sex to that, weren't you?
I believe so, yeah. That was the point where it
you
really
didn't
got
actually
quite
see
a
that
lot,
bit.
yeah. No, yeah.
I'm scared of spiders, but monks on fire?
I missed that bit of this submission.
And it's just like every protest throughout history, or any like event like that, it's nearly always these kind of grand thing. There's something so funny to me about Insulate Britain, where it's like something as boring as like loft insulation.
I know.
They're like stopping traffic.
It's
and
just
stuff.
like put more wool in your walls.
Yeah, it's like everyone being like crossing arms around fucking the M26 for like filling unpothole Britain.
Yeah.
How this is a slippery slope, guys.
It is,
This is the
yeah.
problem.
But even if it was something actually important, if you lay in front of traffic, whatever the cause is,
Yeah.
people are going to be like, you can't.
Yeah, and the problem is with that kind of protest is you can't.
You just piss off normal people.
You don't know the objectives of each
turn
car
around
that
a
you're
bit.
blocking because there's been the thing about there's like ambulances.
But then listen, guys, the whole point is to like bring it into the conversation.
And
what
look
we're
at
doing,
what
what we're
we're
doing
doing.
now,
Hey,
they've
this
fallen
is the
into their trap.
discourse.
I tell you what,
They
I
win
like-
again.
I
How
quite
do they
like-
always win?
Insulate Britain.
God.
I quite like the fact that Boris Johnson, he referred to them as Boris Johnson called them irresponsible crusties. As opposed to those responsible crusties. The vast majority of crusties,
Yeah, they're all right.
give them a mortgage, give them a job. It's the ones that ruin it for the rest.
People have to come out. Not all crusties.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I am interested to see how this carries on.
Well, because I agree, because for that Extinction Rebellion protest I went
Yeah.
to, the means seemed as unachievable as the aims.
Yeah.
As in asking for the head of the Chancellor of the Bank of England to come out and talk to them.
and they kept asking lower positions because they run.
Yeah, and just waiting for like the cleaner to come out, which is the thing.
All right, we'll stop.
Yeah, but then, I mean, because it is about raising awareness, but it's also like that is so unachievable, and also it seems unachievable of stopping any kind of government-backed investment into any kind of fossil fuels.
Yeah.
So at least it seems like our means are appropriate to our aims.
Yeah.
Whereas just put more wool in your walls. People are dying in an
It's also
ambulance.
it doesn't summon up the blood. It's not a passionate. Normally, the protesters, the thing you can say is it's too passionate. It's not. It's very practical.
It's hard to get aboard with insulation.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's not.
You
It's
don't
not
wanna be
something
the
that
Insulate
lights me
Britain
on
guy.
fire.
Yeah, it's not like I don't know. Yeah, it just feels that it really. I do think we're going to enter a new stage of
Yeah.
the protest thing.
It's
It's
al-
going to get really specific.
Well, it's also quite fun, isn't it? Because like, imagine that you're speaking to your grandchildren and you're like, gay people couldn't get married, and because of me doing that. Whereas imagine telling your grandkids, you enjoying having the heating off? You know, we've only got on 20%. Do you know why that is? Back when your granddad was your age, he laid down on the M42.
Like dull domestic policy, you know. Yeah. It's like so funny to me.
Yeah.
Have you finally watched Squid Game now? Because we've been waiting. I mean, the zeitgeist is past.
Yeah, I unfortunately we were maybe going to talk about it last episode.
And 3 episodes ago we were meant to talk about it.
Yes, and I was on the finale, and then I went to watch the finale this week, and I fell asleep.
How much did you get?
I got enough to pretend I know what's going on. Let's kick into it.
Actually, I'm just going to go to the loo first.
Well, I need a wee as well.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Well, Paddy, you take it from here.
So,
You weren't meant to go to that toilet. I'm sorry, lad.
That's the worst toilet I've seen.
Yeah, I was trying to. This is Andrew. This is different. It's like you weren't ever meant to see that.
I have a very low barometer.
The toilet you're meant to go. I can't. Yeah, just use the one downstairs. Couldn't believe it.
That was like a toilet in like a horror film that someone's chained to.
I think it's pretty rich coming from bedwetting, boy.
Well, that's why my toilet's pristine. I'm
Because you never wee in it.
Don't stay in the bed. Toilet.
What's that tea towel doing down the side?
That is something I was hoping you could explain to me.
Was that not you?
Why would that be me?
That's more your toilet than anyone
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I very, very infrequently use it. I use it when I wake up.
Where do you piss? You piss in that toilet? No fucking way.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do, because I can't really stand going in there anymore. But
it's right. What do you mean when you in the middle of the night?
Calm the fuck down, mate. The only time I have used that toilet is when I wake up in the middle of the night needing a wee.
Yeah, regularly, which is most nights for human beings.
How often?
So in the morning, do you go upstairs for your toilet?
Heck yeah. I go up and I do my ablutions.
I don't buy it. Do you still brush your teeth in there?
Of course I do. No, which one? Upstairs?
Downstairs.
No.
You used to brush your teeth downstairs.
Yes, and
then it became too piss soaked,
too rancid for my liking.
Yeah, I only like it when I'm making my morning coffee. That's the only time I use that. Anyway, so we were talking before we had a piss break about Squid Game, but you've seen enough of it now.
I've seen enough of it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts on Squid Game?
I mean, I just love the games. And so anytime there was a game being played, I was loving it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. I was literally on my phone until the game started. I was like,
it took a long time to get into them, didn't it?
And also, they got there, thrilling, and they send them right back out for another. I don't care about your poor, boring
the story
lives,
or the analogy with like the economy right now. Let's get more games. We all watched it for the games.
We all watched it for the games.
I tell you what I did on the last episode, which I've actually genuinely not done on Netflix before, is I watched it at 1.25 speed.
Really?
What?
Not the whole episode, but you know the bit.
So they all speaking like this?
No, they don't bump the pitch.
Well, that's what happens when you double speed it.
No, but on Netflix they've got a thing now.
So
they
maintain the
looks
pitch.
smooth. Yeah.
Why would that ever be necessary?
I'll tell you why. Because that last half hour of Squid Game is so fucking boring. You know the bit where he's in the hospital bed.
Well, he was asleep for. That's the only thing he missed.
Well, that's why you fell asleep. If you'd have sped it up, you'd have gone right through it.
7 times in the.
I saw 2 endings.
Yeah, there's another 5.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, but that bit was so slow, and they were talking so infrequently that I was like,
can you tell me what happens actually?
I
got to the bit where he's in the hospital bed, and that's the old bloke.
Yeah.
So is he the guy who's
kind of like the main ending? Isn't it?
But
it was him all along.
So he just makes the.
And then the reason was a bit dumb because he was like, what was his reason? He was bored.
Yeah, if you've got too much money or too little money, it's like rubbish.
He's just bored.
I was like, one of those is probably a little bit worse. I reckon if I had to pick.
What a load of shit. He was just bored.
Well, also,
I wish it was a bit creepier.
Yeah.
It's like we're all gay sex maniacs or something.
Yeah,
instead of just being like...
You wanted to go into some Illuminati kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it was like, even when they had the 5 rich dudes, I wanted to see like even more, you know, with the rich Illuminati guys, the master stuff. I was like, the worst actors in the whole show as well.
Yeah, well, I was thinking...
Oh, God,
So I was thinking, why is
they
that?
were like shitty school bullies, but imagine that sort of thing, but
and that
for
was
rich
them
people.
without seeing their face.
The rich people would have been much
their
more
voices
interesting if
were
they were
so
real
bad,
rich
weren't
people.
they?
So unconvincing.
You could have made them like genuine how Bezos is, because Bezos is hilarious as a guy.
Do you know what I think it is? I reckon it's because it's like they cast it in Korea. So they thought, these guys sound all right.
Yeah.
And then also, you're going to get actors who are willing to travel all the way to Korea, not show their faces so they can't get any more work from it. Or, if they do show their face, that guy also had to get naked. So that's quite like...
Get your knob out.
Did we see any cock?
No, but you saw his love handle.
You see his big bulging belly. However, I think... Because I completely agree, and I think... The reason is those will be English / they're American, most of it. I think that they were American actors living in Korea. Which
Do you
is probably
think?
Because like
Maybe.
it's
And then
expensing
you're not going to have
someone,
a huge amount of talent acting wise in that small pool.
which
like
is why we saw what we saw.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Which is why they're going. Come on.
Yeah,
It was they were bad.
they were hysterically bad actually.
And it was like the thing that was thrilling and which you should always play up is the mystery. And I kind of feel like they should have left us wanting more and shouldn't have. We should only have seen little bits.
It's gonna have a season 2 as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, like
And it
just
ended
having
on a cliffhanger
it would have
as well.
it would have been so
What did it end
thrilling.
on? What was the cliffhanger?
That he's going to go back and expose him.
Oh really? I can't remember that. I guess I'll say
it's obviously not like it wasn't like a hard ending. It's like that's going to be.
So
I just like the games. I think,
games were thrilling.
Do you know what
It
I
was
reckon
sick.
as well? It's one of those ones that you're like, you feel like it's almost engineered to be like, right, Halloween costumes, spin-off things.
Do you know what? So I
but it
found
was surprisingly successful.
No,
They
I
were
thought
not
it- like I
they
said,
weren't expecting that.
I like the
level
games,
of-
and I thought the actors. I thought all the main actors were
Yeah.
so good.
It was great.
Yeah.
I will say, he said he's been shopping this script around for 10 years.
Yeah.
That's what's been going around on a lot of like hustle pages. Like, never stop. Keep
Yeah,
on with your
yeah.
finance job because this guy who's writing about the economy and
Yeah,
how
yeah,
fucked
yeah.
it is spent 10 years shopping this script around. But it did have a feeling of 2013, 2014.
Yeah, I feel that.
Do you know what I mean?
I
It
feel
felt
that.
like the aesthetic, the pink jumpsuits, the masks. You know, remember when The Purge came out?
Yeah,
it
and
was
Money
all the
Heist.
rage? And it's like,
Yeah,
so it was
yeah.
like, it felt like, because they were so long in the making, those ideas were very big.
The-
but the game's just like,
The
I'm
games
not
are
finding
sick.
any TV that I find interesting at the moment. And it's like, it's not groundbreaking or anything, but it is a fucking blast.
The
It's just great.
bits, aesthetically, the stairs bits were great.
It was
I
great.
fucking
Yeah,
love those.
love
that
that.
set was fantastic.
I also
Yeah.
love that they make the steps look nice, but no one's watching that. You know, they've got to make the front bit look nice because that's the VIP
Yeah.
that they're
Yeah,
watching.
yeah.
But they're like, let's make the workers bit really nice.
Yeah,
True,
yeah.
It doesn't actually make any sense.
They've got to live in like
Yeah.
tiny cells, but let's make
Yeah.
that. Can we make that gorgeous?
Yeah,
From one particular angle.
yeah, that's very true.
That is, yeah.
I've enjoyed it. It's been a good, as you say.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a bit of a TV drought. I'm rewatching Breaking Bad.
That's
Nice.
drought. That's droughty.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
droughty. But to be fair, I haven't rewatched it. I've only watched it once.
Yeah, I haven't rewatched it either.
I know. I'm loving it.
No, yeah, first season, after the third
I've started
episode.
for season 2.
Yeah. first
Straight
season.
on in there. cut
First
the crap.
season, it looks like shit for some
It looks
reason.
horrible.
It's
It's,
like-
so grey. I think
it's
they're
so
trying to make
grainy.
it like how depressed.
But it's
he
like they
is.
fucked up the settings on their camera. They put
Yeah.
the ISO
Really? I
too
can't
high. It's
remember
absolutely mental.
It is horrible.
Really?
It
It's
took
really
because I
strange.
remember you told me to watch it, and you were like, just get through the first few. And it took me a lot to get through the first few,
Yeah.
but then boy does it pay
Then
off.
it really pays
I
off.
tell you what, just while we're on the subject of Squid Game, there's a game that I'd actually quite like to play with.
Yeah, let's round off with
Andrew.
this
Oh yeah, yeah.
with me.
Which
Oh,
is
do,
that-
do you know the game?
do
Yeah,
know
I,
the
did,
game.
I told Horatio about
You're
this.
going to embarrass me.
No.
Well, maybe.
Well, basically,
Yeah.
when Andrew and I met, one of the first things we bonded over
Yes.
was I mentioned that I work. Well, I used to do it a lot more, but I do still a little bit. Do note taking and minute taking part time. So for which you have to type quite fast.
You guys have spoken for about 2 minutes at this point. I feel.
Oh, it was
It was oddly quick.
It was literally like, "Hey, oh, it's nice finding you. You're tall. Yeah, what do you do?
No,
Note
I'm
taker.
not.
Type it."
Am I?
And then you went 10 fast finger. No, you went type racer.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is a website where you've got to compete against other people to
Yeah.
be fast. And then I went, "Yeah, do you go on 10 fast fingers?" And you went, "You're the first person to ever talk about 10 fast fingers to me." It's like, you know, when something's always just online or just for yourself, and then it's like
Yeah.
brought IRL.
And then bam, someone else
It's like me and the scope
experiences
again. You were like 10 fast fingers. Yeah. And then, but this is the thing that
I'm more of a type
this is the
racer
thing
guy.
which I was like, I like this guy. This is good. But then you told me that your word per minute is 150.
I was honest with you, Pad. Let's not do a disservice to me here.
What did you say?
I said that I can hit 150 word per minute frequently. I'd say my average is like 110, 120.
Okay.
But if give me 3 goes and I'll hit 150.
Really?
Give me 3 and I'll hit
And
150.
and is this on 10 fast fingers or on type racer?
Type racer.
Really?
Yeah,
I said we've got to do it.
that's harder.
You down?
I'm fucking down. Bring me a fucking laptop.
No.
That's the best of the lot. 113.
I said that's what I've hit 150.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's good.
Have you seen what you want to see?
Yeah. That's good.
I'm sure I have.
Anyway, thanks very much for listening.
soon.
Um, Thanks a lot for listening. We've been Boys Gone Wild. You got anything else to say?
No, just thanks for having me, boys. It's been a blast.
It's been an absolute blast. We'll get you back again.
Maybe we'll get you back. We'll see what the fans, because we do have some very aggressive fans
all
with
your
a lot of resentment and mental health issues.
Incels. Shout me out.
Comment your pros and cons of Paddy in the comment section. And be
Yeah,
as honest as possible.
Let's not use this as an opportunity for cyberbullying.
Please, let's.
Yeah.
This is Boys Gone Wild. We'll see you next week.
Keep it schwonk.